Welcome to the presentation about the dead internet theory, where you'll soon see that the theory part isn't a theory anymore, so it isn't as weak as it was 10 years ago when it started as a theory. And yeah, the idea of this presentation is to give you a thought-provoking talk, for you to see what the current state of the internet is, but also a practical part where you'll see how to battle against it, so battle against the dead internet and battle against synthetic content and how to detect it. So yeah, one quick slide about me. My name is Domagoj. I'm working for a Croatian company called Pontis Technology. We are a development and AI service provider company, which works mainly in pharma and banking, finance, and other sectors as well, but mostly pharma and finance. Nowadays, my function in my company is AI Customer Delivery Manager, which means that I monitor the delivery process of all projects within our AI team of 20 engineers, but I'm also doing the implementation work, so I'm working on projects mainly in the field of web scraping. That's my field of specialization. Enough about me, let's get into the theoretical part. So the dead internet theory, what it is, most of you probably heard about that in some sense, probably as a popular meme or a joke. And yeah, it originated as that. It originated as one online conspiracy theory, which claims that most online traffic and most online content is generated by bots, is synthetic, so generated by bots or AI in the modern case. And it suggests that the real human activity has drastically declined, and that right now humans are in the minority on the internet, so that bots make up more than half of the total traffic. And you have the conspiracy line, which means that it can be evaluated as a conspiracy in the part where governments and corporations manipulate the public online discourse about politics, about stuff, regulations, whatever. But when you review it as a whole, you'll see that it goes much deeper than that. It's not a conspiracy, it's just how things are nowadays. Where did it originate? It began in 2018 with one news article, but it spread through different forums like 4chan, like the Agora Roads, Macintosh Cafe, whatever, the esoteric chat boards, whatever they are called. And they claimed that the internet was dead since 2016. And then and there they evaluated that the internet isn't like it used to be anymore. So the quality of posts declined, everything was solved, SEO did its thing, everything went down in quality, and then the discourse about that started. But nowadays you can assume that things are going a bit differently with the whole AI part. So with the rise of generative AI, so from 2022 onwards, we are not that sure anymore. We'll look at some videos on social media and it would look like this. It would look very convincing, or image content or text content. It's hard to distinguish between fiction or reality, or in this case between synthetic content, AI content, and human generated content. So what do the stats say? What do the official statistics say from different perspectives? Probably the most important one and the most famous one is by a company called Imperva, which does cybersecurity reports from year to year. And they stated in the Bad Bot report, which analyzes bots, bot traffic, and bot interaction, from last year's Bad Bot report, they stated that almost 50%, I believe it's 48.5% or something like that, of the internet traffic comes from non-human sources, which means that we are this close to the dead internet theory becoming a reality. And also, bad bots now comprise of 1/3 of the total traffic, which adds to the whole urgency of the stat. And Wired reported report by Pengram Labs, also another company doing stuff like this. They analyzed a 6-week period of Medium posts, and they analyzed more than 270,000 Medium posts from from that period, and they stated that 47% of them were AI generated or in some degree. Fifth column AI also analyzed more than 1 million accounts of X or Twitter, and they predict that approximately 64% of them are potentially bots. We'll also see one other statistic or a study which has been done on Twitter. It's probably Twitter or X has it the worst nowadays. But yeah, state of the internet. We all remember the old days where Google was a pure search engine, no weather, no news feed, no links, no sponsors, no ads, no distractions, and no portal litter. We remember the golden days. And when YouTube had their motto, broadcast yourself, so the human was in the center of it all. But nowadays, things aren't so bright anymore. We'll see stuff like this. We'll see bot farms. Then the Fire Nation attacked, as they say, and the Fire Nation in this being the bot farms from all around the world, which boost engagement or do artificial likes, artificial comments, whatever. And it usually looks like this from the other side. And then one of my personal examples, I'm battling bots like these or fake accounts like these on Facebook for, I believe, 6 years. In 2019, it started with bots like these. And then they invited me. I get friends requests like these. They invite me into their sexy WhatsApp groups, whatever. I usually report it to Facebook. And of course, what does Facebook do? Nothing. Facebook doesn't see anything suspicious in my reports. And why would they? It's free engagement, free bots. The interactions are free. Why would they interact with that? And then they went one step further. They canceled all the fact checking. They went with the AI influencers, and they didn't do not only didn't they do anything against the AI bots or fake profiles. They boosted it with the AI profiles themselves. So it's in their interest to have such traffic. Which leads me to bizarre content on Facebook. You've probably heard about Shrimp Jesus. There are weird theories on how it originated, but it's been going on for some time through AI prompts, which were mainly connected to Marines and religion. And a theory states that the Marines were shrimp. So Marines wasn't the army, the Marines. So it got messed up somehow in the middle. But yeah, posts like these, boosted engagement, filled with keywords, filled with hashtags, filled with whatever to boost the engagement, have thousands of likes, thousands of comments, and when you go into the comments, you'll see that all of them are fake profiles, and all of them are like, great, good job, this is awesome, something like that, which doesn't add to anything, but it boosts the engagement, and when you go to the post, you see, oh, 5,000 likes, it must be something too, I should take a look at. And then, of course, the other side of this would be scams, would be fake wares, fake products, which are, of course, AI generated. Those bunnies do not exist in real life, neither they are toys. And then when you go to the comment section, you'll see profiles like this, which are usually profiles like this, but were bought from I don't know where. And then it's just a network of bots or fake profiles which boost the whole engagement. Then you have stuff like this. The next few slides you'll see are from my personal news feed on Facebook. So I'm a lot into music, especially metal music, rock music. And then I get stuff like this. So James Hetfield from Metallica or Eminem are crying with their fans because the fans got into Stanford or whatever. And fake stories like this get tens of thousands of likes, but you'll see it gets worse. And of course, the truth can be whatever you want. Back in the day, if you didn't know, I used to play for U2. Yeah. But yeah, stuff like this can be easily manipulated because you have various tools that you can use, and most of them are free in some sense. So the bar of entry in this case is very, very low. And then you have posts like these, where you have AI-generated videos. These are probably the most recent examples, where you have 65,000, almost a million likes and almost 100,000 likes, and people do not think that this is AI. Most of the people here in the comment section do not think that this is AI. They just look at a funny video. AI took our jobs with the funny animal videos, and then they just like it, they share it, ha, next. And this is the problem. One major trend that we have nowadays are the CCTV videos. For some reason, they are easiest to replace or to fabricate, and tools like Sora AI or other different video content generation tools can do this easily. And then you have, again, 100,000, 16,000 and half a million likes on such posts which are marketed as true or human. And of course, some of them do have the disclaimers, but if you have prescription glasses, it might be hard to detect. For example, the right one has AI content, wherever, and some of them have Sora AI disclaimers, the watermarks, but they are usually hidden, and it's not in their interest to show them. And as you can see, such videos have lower engagement than those that are fake and that hide it. And this is how a typical Facebook feed nowadays looks for me. For example, in Croatia, AI-generated post by Sora AI. A sponsored post, I don't give a damn about that. Let's go. Page I don't follow. And then a cat which steals food and runs from police officers, of course, AI-generated content. And this is how a usual Facebook feed looks like. Of course, it's not just Facebook. It's any social media that has content like this. Music has it even, in my opinion, even harder, because you've probably heard of the band called Velvet Sundown. It's as the article by The Guardian perfectly stated, an AI-generated image of an AI-generated band playing AI-generated music. I don't know if you've tried or heard about Suno AI or tools like that. So they generate music through AI, and it's a serious problem right now. Spotify has problems like this, so the lack of transparency. AI music, as a musician myself, I can tell you that AI-generated music is perfectly fine, but you'll have to be transparent with it. It's perfect to experiment. It's perfect to get out of the writer's block for creative work such as music. But if you're not transparent, if you're selling it as human music, then we have a problem. On the other hand, Deezer did reports on this. So in I believe it was last year, or no, this year, in April, a report stated that 18% of all uploaded content on the platform was AI generated. So it's pretty urgent to do something about that. And probably, as I stated earlier, Twitter or X has the worst. In one study, they analyzed the Super Bowl weekend. So they analyzed traffic from one weekend where they expected lots of traffic, and then on different kinds of platforms. And then they saw that 75% of all link visits came from bots. So three-fourths of all the traffic was synthetic on Twitter, in contrast to other platforms which didn't have such numbers, so only 2% or 1%, stuff like that. And then we're getting into the problematic part, the most problematic part. It's all fun and games when it's like animal videos or funny and entertaining videos online. But then we're getting into stuff like this. So political discourse manipulation. You've probably all heard of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, which happened, I believe, in September. And since then, it's been a great influx of such posts. So posts that in some case connect celebrities to Charlie Kirk. And wherever you stand on the spectrum of aligning your views with Charlie Kirk or vice versa, whatever, you'll have to agree that this is disgusting. This is plain disgusting, because they are building on a tragedy and then they are just farming likes. And then we have, again, Eminem. I don't know what the poor guy did to them, but Eminem is everywhere. For three times Eminem, other rappers, whatever, you have hundreds of thousands of likes. No one sees that it's AI generated, and then supporters of Charlie Kirk in the comments are saying, yeah, I always knew that Eminem supported this, he's a good guy, and some stuff like this. And you can see in the comments, no one has the slightest idea that it's AI. For some, yes. For stuff like this, they don't, because they don't fact check. Then you have posts like these. You have Adam Sandler, you have the Shaquille O'Neal, and you can also see that they all follow the same structure, and they just exist to farm the likes, and they get tens and hundreds of thousands of likes. And of course, we are now getting into the political part and into political bots. And this is one famous example, one comical example, where you have pro-Russian bots that are spamming social media. And this is probably the most famous example because it's funny. But you'll see in each geopolitical conflict, you'll see stuff like this. So hybrid warfare, political bots which spam different communication channels. So then after I evaluated everything, after I saw different kinds of bots online, I asked myself the question, how much time or how much money would I spend to do such a bot? So then I made a speed run, and I just got my stopwatch, and I'll see how much time I will spend. It cost me around 1.5 hours, so 2 hours of work, and in total, not 1 cent to just try it out to construct a bot commenter or commenter bot for social media. I tested it out on my own webpage, just to be ethically correct. You have two modules. One module is, of course, using any LLM API. I put in $5 into OpenAI, the developer platform, and I went out with $5. So I used the cheapest model. You can see the 3.5 Turbo is $0.50 for 1 million tokens, input tokens, and 1.5 for output tokens. And when you'll see in the code snippets, you'll see that the token usage is very, very minimal. And of course, the second part being the bot commenter part, where you just need to do the automated web browsing through Selenium WebDriver, through Playwright, whatever you want to use. So the first thing is around 30 lines of code. You just put the system prompt. You're a commenter on a blog post. Answer just with the comment text. Your task is to be as skeptical about AI as possible. Be cynical. So I'm spinning the narrative into anti-AI narrative. This is the first part. So the second part where I tested it on Zeit's post or website snippet about AI-driven web scraping. And then when I get the response, just another overhyped AI tool promising the world but delivering disappointment. Automation can't replace human. So the skeptical, the cynical part, which you can always see on wherever you go on social media, you'll see stuff like this. So I replicated it, and the cost was around 130 tokens. That was the cost of replicating such a post. And then, of course, the commenter bot part, where you can use Selenium, WebDriver, Playwright, whatever you want to use, and then you can just, the magic method is here, so comment multiple, and then you just spam it all around. And this is how it works. So Byte Heron is my own personal website. I have a side business regarding education. This is also an AI-generated post, so everything is synthetic here. And then you see how it works, how fast it is. It lasts around 20 seconds to leave a comment. I, of course, randomized the name, but you can put whatever you want. And you have John Smith that's telling you about the dangers of AI, and this is the result of it. So 3 comments, 1 minute is 3 comments. So you can assume that it's pretty easy to spam. So where's the line? Where's the line in this being legal or not? When we're doing bots to automate stuff, of course it's legal. But when we're doing it to spread malware, to spread false information, to manipulate the public discourse about something, so political discourse, phishing attacks, scams, then we have a big problem, because it already has been a problem, and then we have AI-powered problems. Of course, we also have AI-powered solutions, but that's, of course, a cat and mouse game we'll play in the future. So regarding the EU AI Act and other regulations, for those that do not know, the AI Act classifies different kinds of risks and different kinds of companies regarding the use of AI. And it's pretty fresh, pretty recent. We'll still see the effects of it and what the regulations will carry, but yeah, it's currently on. It has an article, so the Article 50, about transparency, so various obligations regarding transparency that require individuals to be informed where they are interacting with bots, so with AI systems and stuff like this. So different kinds of disclaimers should be mandatory when you expose your AI systems to individuals. But the main problem, of course, here being that such regulations do not regulate individuals. They do not regulate the common man who is going to use an AI system to do something on the web. It regulates businesses and classifies businesses as providers, users, importers, distributors, and manufacturers of AI systems. But yeah, for individuals, we do not have a law that states you should not make fake content online, and no one will oblige. So, and of course, much is still not defined. The idea of the AI Act is to be not that restrictive to enable innovation, of course. So much about that will still probably be defined in different iterations of the law or the regulations. But the positive side of it all is that the AI Act promotes transparency overall. So it promotes transparency and inspires other countries and other regions in the world to do the same. So different countries like South Korea or Brazil have their own initiatives regarding AI regulations. China also has an initiative regarding AI watermarks. We'll also talk about them a bit later. But yeah, stuff is happening. So we'll see in the near future where we go from now. So detecting AI content, of course, isn't that easy, as you've seen from a perspective of an individual, but we'll get into what we have at our disposal. Nowadays, we also have different memes about how AI content looks, and you also, if you use LLMs regularly, you can see that some patterns are clear as day. For example, the sentences, it's not just something, it's also something else. Or when sentences have rules of 3, so they like something, something, and something, so three times the content, and sets of 3, and M dashes, of course, which are probably the most popular thing to notice. And in visual content, it's getting harder to detect. But we'll see visual content nowadays has different kinds of watermarks which are being infused within. These are two different examples of what I'm talking about. So these are 2 texts about web scraping. One was, so the 2 columns are 2 different posts. One of them was written by me in 2021, I believe, something like that. So before Gen AI even existed or existed in this form of LLMs. And the other one was generated, I believe, half a year ago. And when you read it, you'll first find stuff like this. So it isn't just a technical curiosity, M dash, it's a powerful skill. So whether you're tracking product prices, collecting research data, or monitoring trends, so of course sets of three, and stuff like this, you can see the patterns when you're reading the text. But it gets harder and harder because you also nowadays have tools that humanize the text, that get rid of stuff like this, but we'll talk about that a bit later. So this is how the watermarks look like. You've probably heard of the new Nano Banana tool from Google, which does great image editing powered by AI. And Google DeepMind also worked on the Synth ID. So their watermark, which looks like this, so it's like steganography, where you hide some content or hide one image within the other. And you'll see when you boost up certain parameters in the image, you'll see stuff like this. So diagonal patterns of colors. And also some people on the web, so I believe this is from Reddit, yeah, from Reddit, they experimented with different kinds of images generated by Nano Banana, and they found patterns like this, which you can see are the one that we saw earlier. And yeah, regarding AI content detection on the market, so different kinds of tools that exist on the market regarding text content, there are various platforms, various tools. Some of them are good, some of them are not that good. Some of them are mostly known for academia, so for plagiarism detection, as well as AI-generated content detection. But we'll cover some of them which I used previously. But first, one thing we should mention, you can always do it yourself. So some things that we can learn from those detectors, they all just analyze the text. So of course, you cannot have a watermark within text. You can have some hidden Unicode characters or stuff like that, but you cannot have watermarks that can, of course, if you transcribe from one text editor to another, then you'll lose all those Unicode watermarks. But you cannot do stuff like the thing that we saw in image watermarks. So the AI detectors rely on metadata, of course. It's the low-hanging fruit. If metadata exists, then it can be very useful. But it does statistical analysis. We have rules like the Zipf's law, which states that the words within one corpus of text are inversely proportional to their frequency. So you'll see the most popular word, or the second most popular word, is half the frequency of the most popular word. Stuff like this and distributions like that within one bigger corpus can indicate that something is AI generated or not, because AI generated text content can indicate a perfect distribution, where the human distribution has a fatter tail, which means that that humans do sometimes use quirky words, some words that aren't that methodical, to say so. Well, of course, fact-checking hallucinated citations is also one solution to this. So using AI to battle AI, we'll also see one digression later, which is pretty funny with that. And of course, repeated phrases, patterns. We'll also talk about the model collapse later. And for visual data, yeah, unreal statistics, perfect symmetry. If something is too good to be true, it's probably not true. So the same goes for this. If it's probably perfect, a perfect distribution of words, then it's probably AI generated. So regarding the AI detectors on the market, probably you've seen stuff like this. So memes about false positives, where they put in the Declaration of Independence from America, and it said that it's almost 100% likely to be AI generated. And then, of course, we have the stuff regarding photoshopped images, or just memes. An Elmo meme in hell, or whatever, Fire Elmo, whatever it's called. You have photoshopped memes, which are probably AI generated, but they aren't. They're just Photoshop. They're just Photoshop. That's how memes come to life nowadays. So we have to understand how this works. And of course, the Declaration of Independence is a corpus of text which has been seen for thousands of millions or millions of times in the public. So of course it probably in some sense got used to train LLMs on. So regarding the detectors, I showed in this presentation, I will show 3 different detectors which I used. Sapling is probably the one that you've heard of because it's being marketed a lot. But in my case, I wrote 2 blogs, so 2 blog posts in 2022, and both of them were flagged as AI generated, but I can promise you that I didn't use AI generation because LLMs didn't exist then, but consumer LLMs. And you can see the approximate pricing of where we are right now. So per 1,000 characters, it's around 2.5 cents. But you can, of course, transpose it into words because other models have per words. So per 1,000 words, we can say if it's times 5, we will say it's 12 and a half cents for 1,000 words. Then I experimented with 0 GPT, and then on the same 2 examples, it said 0%, which is of course correct. For the pricing, it's 3.5 cents for 1,000 words, so even cheaper for this. But then again, we have the problem of false positives and stuff like this in today's data-driven world. So you have you can humanize the text. You have a text which is blatantly AI, written by AI, but the same tools that are used to help you detect AI content can also be used to humanize the content, so to be on the other side and fake that something is written by humans. And of course, I also have false negatives where I just generate something, put it into the AI detector, and if it's a short run of a text, a short paragraph, it won't detect it, so we also have the problem with false negatives. The third one being GPT-0, so don't confuse the two. One is 0 GPT, the other one is GPT-0. They weren't very creative with that, which is, in my opinion, the best detector. It also has an API like the others. It worked on all of my examples, but of course, it also has a price. You can see what the price is. For 20 million words, you'll pay almost $2,000 a month. And of course, it doesn't look like much when you put it like this, so 9 cents per 1,000 words. But when you're scaling it, when you're using it as an API on big corpuses of text, then you'll soon run into pricing problems. So to end off the presentation, what can we do regarding the dead internet theory? So what can we do as individuals or as data experts here to battle the theory? Right now, we're currently in a state, from my personal experience, this one video is not generated by AI, but I currently have the paranoia, which drives me that everything nowadays is AI generated. Oh, a funny raccoon that walks or runs like this, it must be AI generated. But then it is not. And that paranoid aspect of it all is where we are now. It's even harder to believe your eyes and to believe that something came from humans. This is where we are now, and we've come full circle, which means that we've come to the phase of model collapse. New iterations of AI-generated content, so of LLMs, are trained on synthetic content from the previous iterations of the LLMs. So when synthetic content is being used to train AI on, then we get into the model collapse part, which can be solved in traditional ML models, but in generative AI and stuff like LLMs, we have a big problem in that we cannot label data, the training sets. We cannot label them. Yeah, this is synthetic. This is not. In machine learning models, we used to be able to do that, but with generative AI, we cannot do anything because we do not have control over the the dispersion of synthetic content online. And this is one digression which I mentioned, which is awesome and also hilarious to me, because we are currently at the stage where we have a problem with AI, and then we are using AI to battle AI with AI. So AI everywhere. Cloudflare has a post from this year where they explained how they implemented honeypot for AI crawlers. So AI crawlers, which of course collect data to train AI on, they constructed the honeypot as a structure of different AI-generated sites which are linked and which just waste the time of AI crawlers. Which again, I think it's hilarious because AI is used in each aspect of the interaction. And of course, what can we as individuals do? We can of course support authentic content, or authentic smaller communities. Maybe we should just get off Facebook, Instagram, all these big players in social media and in online platforms, and just tone it down a bit, start over from different authentic and smaller communities and creators. And of course, be part of the solution, engage in those communities, not just being lurkers, but engaging, contributing to the whole discourse. And of course, be mindful of sources, cross-check information. Not like the example where we see a post on Facebook, oh, and yeah, this happened for sure. It didn't happen for sure. We have to double-check everything. And it's easier than ever to double-check everything because you're just a prompt or a click away. And as data experts, what can we as data experts do? Of course, detect it, measure it, work on AI detectors. Of course, when we have, as all things in cybersecurity work, when you have attacks, when you have threats, then you also are at the same time working on solutions to those problems. So the same goes for this, detecting, measuring the impact of bot traffic on platforms and systems, improving authenticity signals, which means doing stuff like watermarks in images, finding ways to maybe watermark or indicate text content as AI generated, and things like this. Build and promote transparent AI use. So human-in-the-loop AI, this is what the regulations are doing. It's a bit slow. It's a bit slower than expected and slower than it should be, in my opinion, regarding the rapid rise of AI. But we'll see where it goes from now. Strengthening the human web, human verification systems, of course. We should implement systems where we detect that someone is really a human. Of course, here we are going into problems like the one that Great Britain has now with the whole part of scanning IDs to verify that you're human for different kinds of platforms. But yeah, it should be somewhere in between. So where we have the privacy of users, but then again, we can verify that the content we have on our platform is really came from humans. And of course, educating the public. This is something which I'm doing right now, which you should probably do when you get home or get to your workplace. When you talk with colleagues, we should talk about this because it's time to talk about this. It's not that that big of a joke right now. It's that big of a problem. And yeah, to conclude, it's a cheeky conclusion because it has two different AI-generated conclusions. But you can again see that internet thrives when we can tell real from fake and when nobody's tracking the ratio. Our role as data experts is to measure, label, and design systems that keep humans in the loop, not just technically, but socially. Yeah. Thank you very much.